That's good. Yes, that's good. Put me in the credits. And make sure you get my good side, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We're alive.
we've been talking about angels for the last few weeks. We're going to talk some more about them. I'm going to talk about them from a little maybe different perspective. I think when you're dealing with angels, and I'm also going to compare them to spiritual guides, so you kind of have a better understanding of what the two are. But it's a very personal thing, so I can only speak from my own personal experiences, what it's about for me. And it's different for everyone else, of course. So, and I'm sure I'll say things that not everyone's going to agree with, which is a gift I have. That's all. So anyway, so let's just talk. We'll just start off with talking about guides versus angels. Okay, because guides generally are spiritual guides that are very important to us, obviously. The feeling is, and the belief is that they once were incarnated on the physical plane. So they're more of a personal entity with almost like a personality. More so, where an angel, in my opinion anyway, is more of an energy. Okay, so the guide is more of a personality that's there. The angel is more of an energy. Even in the way they're described, it's interesting. A lot of the descriptions, whether you read it today or it's from parts of the Bible, they'll always describe angels and trumpets. Well, that was their way of saying their vibration. So, because they didn't have a way to describe vibration. Just like they'll have the angels in the different choirs, it just means that they're talking about higher vibration. So the archangels are higher vibration than some of the others. So it's just really a translation for them to be able to describe it, I guess, is the best way. So for me, guides are something I really interact with more often, just personally. And they're also more involved in my meditations, so to speak. So I find that for me, guides are there are more direct messages involved from guides. And I think the two are different in this respect, that angels were always considered the messengers of God. Well, when you really translate that, that means that they're the ones that are influenced or carry out your prayers, your wishes. Where guides are really there to help you with your choices in life. So it's weird. Angels will help carry out your free will, the choices and decisions that you want in your life. The guides, I believe, try to influence more the choices that you make. You're trying to influence or point out things that you may choose in your own free will. So one's choice driven from the free will side, and one is more of it's a larger picture. The angels are a larger picture. So the angels are very much about your purpose in this life, the lessons and everything else you need to achieve, just as guides are. But guides are more of the kind of the micromanagers, right? And the angels are kind of the big CEOs. So they have a different view.
I like that metaphor.
What's that?
I like that metaphor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, it's a personal thing. It's not that easy to describe, So I think that, for example, if you have a certain purpose in your life, and this is your goal, and you consciously are aware of this, angels are going to be very involved in bringing that into your life, because they're an energy, they're a part of the creative process, but they're a part of God's grace. They're more of the energy that creates the world around us, where the guide helps you to make the choices on your own end, where you become the co-creator because this is where your focus is at. So the angel provides the energy, the guide provides the mental and emotional direction to make the two, and you need both to create. So I think that it's very much about God's grace when it comes to angels. Again, it's vibration, it's energy. Now, we've all seen the pictures of the angels and everything else, and they're beautiful. But in my opinion, they're just kind of representations that they gave us so that we could pray, ask, or to work with something. To work with an, vibration is a little abstract, right? So they gave us these really beautiful looking angels. But I don't really necessarily think that those are what they really are. Now, they may come to you that way, and that's fine, but I believe it's really much more energy where the guide is really a personality that you can actually have a relationship with. So I think it's a little, it's quite different, those two. I think that we're also, just want to mention two of the archangels today, Archangel Uriel and Archangel Chamuel, which is pronounced a million different ways and also had a bunch of different names. So you may see Chamuel as other names in different scripture writings. But as an example, we can take the two archangels. Uriel is considered the light of God, so that would obviously mean enlightenment, that would mean guidance, that would mean he's, I say he's, and there's no male or female involved in angels. It's hard to say, it is an energy that's generally more involved in your large purpose in life, Now, Archangel Chamuel is different in the sense that he's there to actually, great for things like anxiety. See, his title, or its title, is the Seer of God. So to me, the Seer of God means that's about faith. Right? So that's what that really translates into for me. So Chamuel is about faith in what you particularly want. So say there's something in your love life, or something in a job, or something in a home or a family. Chamuel is more on the line of what are the individual things that you need. Uriel will be on the bigger scale of like, what is your purpose in life? So how many times you're gonna repeat the same pattern before you get the message, so to speak. So, they're very different, but I don't think that you even necessarily have to pick one angel for a particular reason necessarily. I think you can just allow to see what's comfortable for you, what naturally comes to you. And one of the best ways to do that is to a type of meditation. I think it's probably best to sit, do your grounding. It's always best to ground first before you really go into meditation. So you should have some little ritual that you do. I like to use a tree for grounding, and then go into your grounding. Then go into your meditation. And you can ask the angels, like angels need to be invoked. So you need to ask an angel for their guidance, their help. And that's very important. Where spiritual guides tend to be there whether you want them or not. So they're more like the uninvited guests sometimes, the spiritual guide, where the angel is more about being asked to be there. So I think they're different in that way, and again, I think the spiritual guide is much more of a personality. But as far as working with angels, I think after grounding and doing meditation, you can ask for the angels to come to you, and just allow yourself just to feel without any expectation, and see which name, see which feeling comes to you, and then just run with it, and it obviously may take several times for that to happen. So once you do feel that you're making some contact, it's best to work with one for a while. You know, you don't really want to jump back and forth. So just do what you're comfortable with, and then bring the angels in for the things in your lives that, again, are the large picture. So I don't know if I helped to explain that in any way to you, because it is a little different. The fact that the spiritual guides are really linked more towards a person that was incarnated at one time, and maybe on this planet it may not be, but that's another story. So, but like, you have the possibility of being a guide for someone else after you pass. It's possible. You will, according to the way it's set up, we won't be angels, because that's not what we're made of. You know, that's not our makeup. So I think that's one of the big differences between the two, and the spiritual guide really has much more of a personality. So I don't know if there's any questions that I could.
A quick comment and a
Sure.
quick question. From my viewpoint, the angels deal more with the governance of regional and frequency, whereas the spirit guides are dealing more with the self, whether it's the individual self or the self of the small groups. To me, those are the greatest distinguishing between the two. And my question to you is, what is your take on the Archon? Are you familiar with the term?
I know that.
Okay, it just recently was brought to my attention that an Archon is the complete opposite spectrum of the Archangel.
The fallen angel?
I haven't heard it coined that way, but is that your
Well, there's a
perspective?
group of fallen angels, but I'm not sure if they call it the Archon. It might be, I'll have to Google that. But I think I read something about the fallen angels. I'm not
Anybody
sure.
here at all familiar with the Archon?
We'll have to ask Archangel Google.
Like I like that you decided to go with Camille. I was actually reading a little bit about him because after studying the ones for the lesson I did, I wanted to study further into the angels just because there's so much to take in. And I learned that Archangel Camille, because you said he's related to stress and anxiety, which I read that too. He was actually the angel that when the Metatron, when he was Enoch, when he transformed to Enoch to Metatron, Angel Camille was there during his transformation to give him that release and that awareness. He released the anxiety, the stress, and gave him that awareness into his new self. So he actually was an angel before Metatron.
Right.
And he's the angel of I'm going to do it in the meditation. He's a higher purpose to find things where Chamuel is the angel where, like, if you lose your keys, you lose a letter, you lose anything like that, you can call on, I've heard stories from people, you can call on Archangel Chamuel and he'll find those things for you, whereas Uriel is more of a bigger purpose, like you said. He's more of a bigger purpose as far as what are you looking to accomplish as in your awareness, or in a bigger, huge front job if you're having a lot of employees and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And I think one of the description of General is seer of God. So again, it's about faith. So what causes anxiety is not having or feeling loss. Right?
Yep.
So like faith allows you to have belief that what you can't see or what you lost is going to come to you in some form. So by having that, it lowers your anxiety, which is good. So I think that's kind of the link. And also, it's about anything that's lost, and that can be love, that can be family, that can be job, that can be. It's about having faith in bringing things back into your life, I think.
But I did read that Kemuel will bring things, and Uriel also will bring things back into your life only if they're for your best and highest good and your best and highest purpose. If it doesn't serve you in a positive way, then it just doesn't manifest from calling upon Uriel or Kemuel. Kemuel, I think some people say Kemuel, Chamuel. He's got a lot of different names.
Right. And I can't
He's
pronounce
even in the
correctly.
Catholic,
I
he's
can't
even
pronounce
in
it
the
correctly.
Catholicism.
Catholicism.
Bible, yeah.
So I don't know if anyone has any other comments or questions.
The only comment that I have is that I know that we had mentioned Enoch because we didn't really talk about Metatron today. I know your meditation is Metatron today?
No.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious to be very clear that that Enoch was a human being and a prophet, and then when he passed, his energy became Metatron. That is the only angel that we know of that was a human being that became an angel. Now, Michael, there is an understanding that Michael is pre-existing in heaven, and then Jesus Christ on earth as the teacher, and then returned back to heaven as Michael the archangel. But he was an angel to start with. He wasn't a human being and then became an angel. So all the other angels were created specifically within the scope and nature of angelic energy. So they were made for a particular purpose to glorify God. Enoch was recruited. So a little bit different. But that's the only one that I know of. And of course, this is not a story from our scriptures that we're familiar with in the Hebrew scriptures or the Christian Greek scriptures. This is a story that is told in the Kabbalah, right? Yes.
So I think, Tina, you bring up a good point, though, because the guides are much more on a personal level, people's individual things, and the angels are really about all of humanity, all of Earth, all of animals, the universe. It's a very broad-based energy that actually, I believe, these energies actually form the universe, so, which are the angels, which are labeled as the angels.
Does anybody else have a question about the information that was shared tonight? Oh, you're all so smart. Thank you very much, Reverend Vince. I appreciate your lesson this evening. At this time, do you want music for your meditation? Yes. Okay, so I'll turn some music on nice and low. Everybody get comfortable. I'll play with the lights and we'll begin our meditation.